Is there anything that you did musically with this record that, you know, you sort of saw as being outside the sound or the parameters of Bright Eyes?
Well, to me the main difference was Mike and I see eye to eye when it comes to the recording process, but if anything, he's just a little more of a perfectionist. You know, he'll take the time to get the exact tone that he wants, and you know, his mind sort of works in that way, where I'm more like, okay, it's being recorded, it sounds good, let's move on. You know, it's more, for me, it's more about the feel or like the performance or just, you know, I mean, once in a while we would stop and work on a sound for a while, but for the most part I was, you know, I guess I don't know, I'm a little lazier than Mike when it comes to that. So, and certainly compared to Casadega, much more stripped down,
for sure,
simplistic, and I just wanted to have a real casual, mellow vibe. Everything from is a bit of a reaction to what came before it, you know. So, you know, I'm proud of how that record turned out, and you know, a lot of like what Nate Walcott contributed with the arrangements. I mean, I think that was all such a great experience to go through that, but you know, not anything I was in a hurry to repeat, you know.
As time goes on, do you rank your records in your head?
I think there's probably moments on each of the records that came across better, or songs that stand the test of time, maybe more. Certainly like when we are on tour and have to pick older songs, you know, there's some that I just wouldn't really think of playing, and then others that seem like they still mean something to me. Or
and your set list choices tend to be what you're feeling at the time, right? I mean, it's not, you don't sort of take, well, gosh, I really ought to throw in Lua, you know, because people want to hear Lua. I mean, or do you think that way?
Not as a rule. I mean, it seems like when we release a record, we've always made an effort to do a tour and really play the album for people. And so that's always kind of been the mode of operation. But if we do a tour that's not sort of connected to the release of something, then we will try to play older songs and mix of different songs. I mean, obviously, we got to play the songs that we feel comfortable playing and are excited about. But I mean, nothing wrong with pleasing the audience if it coincides, you know.
Right. Despite the differences, I mean, you know, musically, production-wise, in this and Casadega, I did find a couple themes that seemed to have sort of continued from one record to the other. And the first one that strikes me is this sense of, that I got on a lot of songs on Casadega, like Cleanse Song and Classic Cars, this notion of like nomadic life and like wanting to travel and not settle down and being resistant to being tied in one place. And
yeah, I mean, I've spent most of my adult life traveling and touring and living in different places for short periods of time. So yeah, I think there's a.
And you like that?
I do. Yeah, I guess I got used to it, and now I honestly don't like being somewhere for more than a month or two. Like it just, I'm ready.
Bored?
I'm ready to go. You know, I mean, I don't know. For some reason, whenever I go someplace new, change of scenery, there's always like a lot of optimism and, you know, just that idea of like turning over a new leaf, something like that. You know, I mean, not that it's always horrible when I leave, but it's just, I don't know. It actually keeps me positive. Like, okay, I know I'm gonna be this place next month, and then there. You know, it's something to look forward to. I guess whenever it hasn't been that many times, but you know, the few times where I've really cleared my schedule and not had anything planned, no travel plans or no, you know, recording plans or anything like that, it's always pretty terrible feeling. Like after a few, like I'm not good at doing nothing or having no plans. You know?
So you still have a house in Omaha, right, and a place here. Are either one of those more home than the other, or? Not
really. I mean, you know, Omaha, I've more family there, and I guess
that could be good or
older
bad.
friends, older memories, that kind of thing. So, it's certainly my hometown, but my house itself there, I haven't spent enough time in to really, I think, make it my own. I have some roommates, and they kind of take care of the place.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it seems to have been this, with the last record and with this one, this still lingering fascination with the West Coast, which I still don't quite get because I don't have one.
Right.
And
you told me not to move to California.
I know,
I did.
but it's still there, right? I mean, you seem to be.
I mean, it's a nice place, but I don't know. I don't think it's that day I talked to you. It's kind of waned since then.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Like how you said, like when you have downtime and you feel kind of rudderless. Are you the same way when you're not in a relationship, or do you kind of say, well, now I don't have an anchor, or is it a liberating thing? Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably as it is for everyone, there's that. For me, there's always a competing feeling of, oh, I'd like to, be somewhere secure and like safe, whether it's a place or with a person or some, familiar. And then there's like that other feeling of like, I want to go see new things, be new places, and that. So far, that feeling always wins out for me.
Yeah, and that is apparent too. This thing of like, I was in Casadega, and it's here on a few songs too. This kind of like seize the moment, live life at the, for the moment. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. There's also, I feel like, sort of threaded through that, this sense of mortality. Not to kind of play it safe. Mm-hmm. I think there's a line in one of the songs about something about how I won't like when I get to if I go to heaven. I forgot the song. It's Milk Thistle, I think, right? And do you sort of believe more than ever in sort of living for the moment?
Yeah, I mean, that's all we have, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you can think back and you can sort of try to peek into the future or what your idea of it is, but it's all we have, and it's a gift. That's why it's called the present,
All right, for more on Conor, go to Rhapsody.com/Conor Oberst.
Hair blowing in the hot wind, time hanging from a clothespin. There's no sorrow that the sun's not gone